17th group has fluorine, fluorine. 18th group or zero group has the helium is there, we don't worry about it. Then neon, argon, krypton, xenon, and radon. So these are the last four groups in P block. Why do you call them P block, sir? Because in all these elements, last joining electron enters into p orbitals. In first year, we already studied 13th and 14th groups, which are also P block. Sir, in nitrogen phosphorus family, there are 3 electrons in p orbitals, px1, py1, pz1, in addition to ns2. It is like ns2, npx1, npy1, npz1 is the configuration of 15th group elements. If it is 16th group, you have to add one extra electron, ns2, npx2, y1, z1. So that extra electron you can add not only x, you can add in y or z, anywhere you can add, but one extra. Total how many electrons 16th group elements have? They have total 6 electrons in the outer level. Whereas 15th group elements have 5 electrons in the outer level. Yes. If it is 17th group, you have to add one more extra electron. Then they will have 17th group elements have 7 electrons in the outer level. What about 18th group elements, sir? 18th group elements have how many electrons in outer level? How many? 8 electrons in the outer level. So that is the general outlay. Now I want to examine the first element of 15th group element is like a non-metal gas. Even 16th group is non-metal gas. 17th group is non-metal gas. 18th group is non-metal gas. So first elements in all these groups are essentially gases, non-metals. Even second element is a non-metal, but it is a solid. Here it is a solid, yellow color solid sulfur. It is a gas. It is a gas. If I look at it is a metalloid, it is a metalloid. These two are metalloids. These two are metalloids. These two are non-metals. These two are gases. When I am going from left to right, solids to liquids to gases, the non-metallic nature is increasing. And the last one is a metal. It is a metal. It is a metalloid. It is a gas. I would like to say in 15th group, I have 2 non-metals. One is a gaseous metal, one is a solid gaseous non-metal, one is a solid non-metal. 2 are metalloids, one is a metal. 16th group, one is a gas, one is a solid non-metal, 2 are metalloids, one is a metal. 17th group, there are 2 gases. There is one liquid non-metal. There is one solid non-metal, one metalloid. 18th group, all are non-metals, all are gases. So that is the general outline. Now I want to examine differently. If I look at the compounds of these elements, sir, valencies, if I look at these elements, which elements are? Oh my God. These elements in 15th group, they have 5 electrons in the valence shell, so they make 3 bonds, or they may use all the 5 electrons to make 5 bonds. The 16th group elements, they have 6 electrons in the valence shell, so they may make 2 bonds as in the case of oxygen, or they may make maximum 6 bonds. Sir, here maximum 5 bonds generally, here maximum 6 bonds. In halogen family, they have 7 electrons, so they may make 1 bond, or they may make maximum how many bonds, sir? 7. What about 18th group, sir? They have 8 electrons. So bonds they make as no as they want to make bond, but they no at all.
Your voice is somewhat breaking.
My voice is breaking. No, just luckily power has come. Wait. Internet will come. Very good. We are very lucky. Power has come. It takes a while for internet on. Is it better now?
No, sir.
Okay.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Now it is
Yes, sir.
clear.
No, it is.
Yeah, power has come after 3 hours. Wow, I'm so pleased. So we were pointing out, sir, in these elements, we are looking at there is a tendency. What is the tendency, sir? In 15th group to 18th group, there is a tendency like they are going towards gases. Neon, argon, krypton, xenon, radon, all are gases. The lowest possible number of bonds the 15th group elements can make are 3. 16th group elements can make are 2. 17th group elements can make is 1. What is the lowest number of bonds 18th group element can make? 0. Have you noticed this idea? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Now I want to examine. In 15th group, nitrogen, phosphorus, arsenic, antimony, bismuth. All these elements except nitrogen can exist in different physical forms. There can be white phosphorus, yellow phosphorus. White and yellow both are same. Red phosphorus, black phosphorus. Similarly, arsenic is also available in white form, gray form, so on. Why all these elements are existing in allotropic forms but not nitrogen means nitrogen is a gas. Gases cannot have allotropes. If you solidify the gas, when it is a solid, even it can exist in alpha beta forms. Now coming to phosphorus, the white or yellow phosphorus is highly reactive, whereas red phosphorus is less reactive. If you put yellow phosphorus in NaOH, it would react to give phosphine gas along with sodium dihydrogen hypophosphite, NaH2PO2 and water. This reaction with NaOH is not there for red phosphorus. In fact, if you have a mixture of red phosphorus and white phosphorus, you can separate it either by sublimation or by treating with NaOH. Only yellow phosphorus reacts, red phosphorus would not. Yellow phosphorus, if you put in air, it catches fire and burns down to liquid water. If you put red phosphorus in air, there is no change. These are two different allotropic forms which differ in the way the atoms are packed. It is yellow phosphorus, simply it is P4. Here I have a question. Sir, what is the number of bonds we have here? How many bonds are there in P4? Should I count? 1, 2,
6.
3, 4, 5, 6. Sir, I have one point. If you have an open chain compound like ethane, number of sigma bonds is equal to number of atoms minus 1. For example, in ethane, how many sigma bonds are there? It has total 8 atoms. So it has how many sigma bonds, sir? 7. In any open chain compound, if you look at the formula, number of atoms minus 1 is equal to sigma bonds. If it is a cyclic structure like benzene, number of sigma bonds is equal to number of atoms. For example, benzene is having 12 atoms, so it has 12 sigma bonds. If you take a compound like this, sir, what is this compound, sir? Hello?
Bicyclo compound.
It is a bicyclo compound which is having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 atoms. So it is called as bicyclo. Here you have 2, here you have 2, here you have 1. 2 to 1 heptane. You know how to name it, sir? Bicyclo
Sir.
221. And what is its formula, sir? C7H12. Do you know its formula? If a compound has two rings, its formula corresponds to CnH2n minus 2. If a compound has one ring, its formula corresponds to CnH2n. If a compound has no rings and no double bonds, its formula is CnH2n plus 2. So, this compound bicyclo-221 heptane, whose formula is C7H12, has 19 atoms. So, how many sigma bonds it will have? Number of
19.
atoms plus 1. That is 19 plus 1. That's called how much, sir? 20. Sir, have you noticed one pattern? Number of sigma bonds is equal to number of atoms minus 1 in a open chain
Compound.
In a cyclic compound, number of sigma bonds is equal to number of atoms. In a bicyclic compound, number of sigma bonds is equal to number of atoms plus 1. In a tricyclic compound, number of sigma bonds is equal to what, sir? In a tricyclic compound, number of sigma bonds is equal to number of atoms plus 2. Can you see it? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Sir, in phosphorus, how many rings are there? How many rings are there?
4.
You know there are 4 atoms, but number of sigma bonds are 6. That is, it is 4 plus 2. If there are n plus 2 sigma bonds, it must be what type of compound? Hello? It is a tricyclic compound. Can you see? So how many rings are there in P4?
3.
How many rings are there?
3.
There are 3 rings. Can you see it really? Hello. Now, that's one point I want to emphasize. That is a yellow phosphorus, whereas red phosphorus has a structure like this. So red phosphorus is a polymeric open chain structure. It is like this. Polymeric structure. Yellow phosphorus is a cyclic system like this. In yellow phosphorus, this angle is very acute. The 60 degrees angle, very, very less angle, causes a lot of strain and therefore P4 is reactive. Red phosphorus, this angle is wide, therefore it is stable and less reactive. Are we very clear about these 2 points of difference, sir? Now, I wanted to observe that in 15th group, in 16th group, in 17th group, they make hydrates of formula MH3, H2X, HX. If you want to compare all of them, it is NH3, PH3, ASH3, SBH3, BIH3. If you want to name them ammonia, phosphine, arsine, stelbene, bismuthine, it is oxidane or water. It is hydrogen sulfide, selenite, telluride, polyride. It is hydrogen fluoride, hydrogen chloride, hydrogen bromide, iodide. Sir, down the group, acidic strength increases. What is the most powerful acid in this group? HI. What is the most powerful acid in this group? H2PO. What is the most powerful acid in this group? BiH3. Notice, in 15th group, ammonia is basic. Water is both basic and acidic. HF is only acidic. It means basic nature of hydrides left to right decreases. What decreases, sir?
Basic nature of hydrides.
Decreases. Always down a group, acidic nature will increase. Okay, sir? Now, in all the hydrides, as you are going, they become more and more unstable. It is easy to dissociate HI, very difficult to dissociate HF. It is easy to dissociate H2PO, very difficult to dissociate water. It is easy to dissociate BiH3, difficult to dissociate ammonia. So thermal stability is decreased. You know that ammonia, if I inhale, I don't die. But if I inhale PH3, I will die. It is poisonous. ASH3 is more poisonous. Similarly, if I drink water, I will not die. But if I inhale H2S, I may die after 3 hours. If I inhale H2SE, I will die in 5 seconds. If I inhale H2TE, immediately I will die. So also, down the group, the poisonous nature of hydrates is
Increasing.
Increasing.
Also, these, as you are observing, becoming more and more unstable, they give off hydrogen. Therefore, as you are going down, the ability to give hydrogen, the reducing power will increase. So in 15th group hydrates, BiH3 is most powerful reducing agent. In 16th group elements, H2PO is most powerful reducing agent. In 17th group hydrates, which is the most powerful reducing agent, sir? Hello. HA is the most powerful reducing agent. Sir, you take ethyl alcohol, just put it over red phosphorus and HI. Urgently, it will become ethane. Not only ethyl alcohol, sir, you can take acetaldehyde, you can take acetic acid, you can take any damn compound that has oxygen, put red phosphorus and HI, finish, it will become alkane. So HI and red phosphorus make a very, 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 very powerful reducing agent. Are we very clear on this? So
Yes.
down a group reducing power is increasing. And also down a group, the covalent nature is increasing. Which is most covalent in this BiH3? Which is most covalent H2PO? Which is most covalent in this HI?
HI.
And also down a group, water solubility is decreasing. So these are general trends which we see. And now, very interestingly, amongst these compounds of 15th group, the boiling points, pH3 has lowest boiling point. Neither it has hydrogen bonding, nor it has more molecular weight. Though ammonia has lower molecular weight, it has hydrogen bonding. Though BiH3 is not having hydrogen bonding, it has more molecular weight. More molecular weight, more van der Waals attraction, higher melting boiling points. But pH3, no hydrogen bonding. Even the molecular weight is not high. So the fellow with the lowest boiling melting point in 15th group hydrates is pH3. What about 16th group hydrates, sir? H2S. What about 17th group hydrates, sir? HCl. The second hydrate has lowest melting boiling points in all the families. Now, the correct order of boiling points may differ in different groups. For example, in 15th group, the order of boiling point appears to be pH3 is less than ASH3, ASH3 is less than ammonia, ammonia is less than SbH3, SbH3 is less than BiH3. BiH3 has highest melting boiling points because of more van der Waals attraction. This order, what is the order of boiling point? I would repeat, sir. pH3 is less than ASH3, ASH3 is less than ammonia,
NH3.
ammonia is less than SbH3, which is less than BiH3.
BiH3.
This strange order is there in 15th group. In 16th group, story is simple. H2S is less than H2SE, H2SE is less than H2T, H2TE is less than H2PO, H2PO is less than water. Because in water, hydrogen bonds are very strong and each molecule of water makes 4 hydrogen bonds. In ammonia, hydrogen bond is there, but they are very weak. The same thing you can observe in 17th group. HCl is less than HBr, HBr is less than HI, HI is less than HAT if you want to astatine, which is less than HF. The order of boiling points of hydrates is same in the 17th group and in 16th group. For 18th group, they won't make hydrates. They don't combine with hydrogen. Ladies and gentlemen, there is a question. When I am going from left to right, ammonia, water, HF, which is supposed to have high boiling point. Hello, sir.
What, sir?
I am going from ammonia to water to HF, sir, which has a higher boiling point.
HF.
So congratulations. You are thinking that stronger is hydrogen bonding, therefore more is the boiling point. That idea is okay, but the problem is each HF molecule makes only two hydrogen bonds, H plus delta, F minus delta. One hydrogen bond this side, one hydrogen bond this side. Whereas each water molecule can make how many hydrogen bonds? One hydrogen bond like this, one hydrogen bond like this, one hydrogen bond like this, one hydrogen bond like this. How many hydrogen bonds each water molecule makes, sir? Hello.
4.
How many? Therefore, the boiling point of water is much higher than HF because per molecule number of hydrogen bonds made is maximum in water. Moreover, hydrogen bonds are stronger in water. So water has higher boiling point. Are we very clear on this, sir? Now, how to
Yes,
make the hydrides? You take calcium nitride, Ca3N2. Sir, how do you know its formula Ca3N2? Nitrogen is having 15th group 5 electrons in the outer level. So its valency can be 5 or 8 minus 5, 3. Generally, valency is equal to number of atoms with which it can combine is equal to number of valence electrons or 8 minus number of valence electrons. So valency of nitrogen can be 3 or 5. If nitrogen valency is 3, I write this at the bottom of calcium. Calcium valency 2, I write at the bottom of nitrogen. So Ca3N2 is calcium nitride. Ca3P2 is calcium, but calcium phosphide. Ca3AS2 is calcium arsenide. The 15th group elements can combine with first and second group metals to give corresponding compounds. Okay. What is the name of this compound, sir? Calcium.
Nitride.
These are ionic compounds. They have N minus 3, Ca plus 2. Ca plus 2, P minus 3. Okay. In this compound, sir, if I take the calcium nitride and put in water, I get it. Calcium takes OH minus of water, slicked line. Nitrogen will take H plus of water, ammonia. To balance 3, 3, 2, 2. Total I require 6 waters. Ladies and gentlemen, if I take magnesium phosphide, for example, formula is Mg. What is the valency of P? 3. Valency of Mg? 2. If I put water, same thing. Magnesium hydroxide phosphate. So this is the way I prepared hydrides. Now, if I want to prepare H2S, what do you suggest, sir? I take calcium sulfide. Sir, calcium valency 2, sulfur valency also 2. Why sulfur valency is 2, sir? Hello? Why sulfur valency is 2? Ladies and gentlemen, why sulfur is 2, sir? Oxygen, sulfur, selenium, tellurium, polonium, they are in 16th group. All 16th group elements have 6 valence electrons. So their valency can be 6 or 8 minus 6, 2. I take lower valency preferably. So what is the valency of sulfur, sir? Hello?
2.
Valency means what is its combining capacity? With how many hydrogens it can combine? With how many Cl atoms it can combine? So our sulfur valency is 2, which I write at the bottom of calcium. Calcium valency is also 2 because calcium is second group metal. Ca2S2, 2 gets cancelled. I write CaS. So in order to prepare H2S, hydrogen sulfide, I take something like calcium sulfide and put water. H2S plus calcium hydroxide. Are we very clear, sir? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Sir, you want to prepare a H2SC 16th group hydrogen selenite, a very toxic gas. Selenium compounds are used to treat black fungus problem. Selenium sulfide is a shampoo that can check the dandruff in hair. Okay, anyway, selenium. Selenium oxide is used in Xerox machines. Okay, leave that. Now, how to prepare hydrogen selenide? Take some second group selenide, MgSe, put water. Got it, sir? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Instead of
Got
water, you can put acid, no problem. So this is a general way to prepare hydrates of 15th group, 16th group elements. These are the general characters of hydrates. If I look at the structure of ammonia, it is pyramidal. It is pyramidal. Whereas if I look at the structure of water, it is bent. It has one lone pair of electrons, it has two lone pair of electrons.
Yes, sir.
If I look at the structure of HF, it is linear, it has three lone pairs. As the structure of ammonia is there, structure of PH3 will also be similar. But the phosphorus atom is bigger. These atoms will be a bit like this, and the angle is here 107 degrees, but here it is close to 90. Down a group, the bond angles decrease in hydrides. As the size of the central atom increases, bond angles decrease. The hybridization of nitrogen in ammonia is sp3. The hybridization of oxygen in water is also sp3. The hybridization of fluorine in HF, we don't have to bother. It is just linear. So this is a talk on hydrides in comparison. Now I am wondering, nitrogen can make another hydride called hydrazine. It is called NH2NH2. It has two lone pairs. This is also basic like ammonia, but it is not so strong a base as ammonia. A base is one which can combine with H plus to donate the lone pair to H plus. You get N2H plus 5 plus, hydrazinium ion. Ammonia is also base. It can also take a H plus to give ammonium ion. But the basic nature of the hydrides, as you know, is decreasing down the group. Ammonia is more basic than PH3. PH3 is more basic than ASH3. ASH3 is more basic than SPH3, which is more basic than BH. Also, H2O is more basic than H2S, so on. Sir, from top to bottom, the basic nature is decreasing. From left to right also, basic nature is decreasing. It means ammonia is a better base than water. Water is a better base than HF. This is a comparative study of the hydrides of 15th, 16th, and 17th groups. Now, sir, we will be scanning the NCERT book in this matter. We will be going a bit supervisory. These are the questions which we don't look now. Time అయిపోయింది ఆల్రెడీ 45 minutes అయిపోతుంది. టైం చాలా క్విక్గా అయిపోతుంది. The NCERT talks about P block elements, sir. Sir, this is the way to prepare నెట్ స్లో అయిపోతుంది చికాకు. Sir, this is the way to prepare ammonia, sir. To prepare ammonia, you take nitrogen and hydrogen gases in 3:1 ratio. You just pump them into a compressor where you have a pressure of 200 atmospheres or roughly 20 megapascals. You know, mega means what, sir? Hello. 10 to the power 3 is called kilo. 10 to the power 6 is called mega. 10 to the power 9 is called giga. You know that?
Yes.
Hello.
Sir.
Megastar. Who is megastar? Stupid fellows, you don't have general knowledge. Chiranjeevi is megastar. In Kerala, Mummati is megastar. Mega means 10 to the power 6. Remember. Similarly, I am saying it is 20 megapascals. That is the pressure, very high pressure. After compressing nitrogen and hydrogen, you will just pass through a catalyst chamber. The catalyst can be the iron powder or it can be Al2O3 and K2O mixture. At catalyst chamber, the mixture of nitrogen and hydrogen gases are compressed and then they react to give ammonia. Notice, a part of it is not reacting means it will get out through this outlet to pump, which can be pumped back. Now, when once nitrogen and hydrogen combine to give ammonia, ammonia is made to dissolve in water or ammonia is made to get liquefied. When it is liquefied, it will be taken out. So this is the process of making ammonia in Haber process. What is this, sir? Haber process. This is the structure of ammonia showing pyramidal molecule with 107 degrees, 28 minutes. Okay, it is 0.8 degrees strongly given. It is 107 degrees, 28 minutes. Okay, ammonia is highly water soluble. It is a weak base. Technically, when you compare with NaOH, ammonia is a mild base. Ammonia can be readily identified by its ability to give beautiful blue color complex with copper ions. If we add copper ions to ammonia liquor, it will give beautiful deep blue solution. It is a test you see in your laboratory. If we add zinc sulfate to ammonia, urgently it will give a white precipitate of zinc hydroxide. Can you see that? If we add ammonia to ferric chloride, it will give a brown precipitate of ferric oxide. One can identify copper ions, zinc ions, ferric ions, etc. using ammonia solution. Identification of copper with ammonia is very important. Similarly, if we have a white precipitate of silver chloride urgently dissolves in ammonia because silver makes a complex with ammonia that is water soluble. Ammonia is a very, very important laboratory reagent. Mainly ammonia is used to make fertilizers. As the population of India is growing, same landscape is available. You need more and more fertilizers to get more and more food. So ammonia is mainly used to make fertilizers like ammonium nitrate, urea, ammonium phosphate, ammonium sulfate, etc. And also ammonia is used as a laboratory reagent. Sometimes it is used to prepare nitric acid. Ammonia is used for large scale refrigeration. If you want to air condition the entire MS College building, then you have to use liquor ammonia. Okay. Ammonia is a Lewis base because it acts like a base by donating its lone pair of electrons. This is a note on ammonia, sir. Now we are going back. In the laboratory, if you want to prepare ammonia, simply take any ammonium salt and then you add any NaOH and bomb. Any ammonium salt. I can tell you still easy method. Collect your urine in a container, boil it. When you boil your urine, you get beautiful ammonia. but don't do it at home. If anybody sees, they scold you. Okay. In good olden days, they used to collect urine from public urinal toilets in auction, and they used to make ammonia. Nowadays, that method they gave up using direct Haber process. Well, urea on treatment with water gives ammonium carbonate, that on heating gives ammonia. These are some methods to make ammonia, sir. You can take any ammonium salt, add any base like calcium hydroxide, NaOH, you can get ammonia. But industrially, it is made by Haber process. Okay, sir. Next. What is the fundamental reaction in Haber process? Nitrogen plus hydrogen under high temperature pressure gives ammonia. The reaction is exothermic. Because it is exothermic, in order to make ammonia, you will not put high temperature. You put only working temperature. What conditions will give you more ammonia in Haber process means take more nitrogen, more hydrogen in 3:1 ratio of hydrogen nitrogen. Put a high pressure, put only working temperature, use a catalyst like K2O-Al2O3, and the moment ammonia is formed, remove it by liquefying. These are the ideas in order to prepare ammonia. Sir, we will also look at what is the method to prepare nitrogen. Nitrogen can be prepared from air by removing oxygen. How to remove oxygen from air? Just pass the air over hot copper. Copper will react with oxygen to give copper oxide. You will be left out with nitrogen. Sir, air contain also dust and water, no? Well, to remove water vapor from air, just pass the air through a shower of sulfuric acid. Sulfuric acid will remove moisture. Then pass the water, the air through hot copper. Then oxygen is removed as copper oxide. You will be left out with nitrogen. Another method to get nitrogen is take ammonium chloride, add NaNO2, heat. Ammonium chloride reacts with NaNO2 to give NH4NO2, ammonium nitrite. Ammonium nitrite, NH4NO2 on heating is sent. Take a compound, beautiful orange color compound called ammonium dichromate, just burn it, you get nitrogen. In market, there is a compound called barium azide, N3 taken twice. Barium azide slightly warm means it will explode to give nitrogen. The barium azide is used in car safety. What is that, sir? When car meets with the accident, driver will be protected by what, sir? Airbag. To
Yes,
generate the airbag, you are using barium azide. Barium azide means anything that has N3 minus ions, barium azide. That is the